Here are 10 times Meghan Markle contradicted herself on live TV. Pay close attention to the sixth one because it's truly shocking. When Meghan sat down with Oprah Winfrey in 2021, she emotionally declared that all she and Harry ever wanted was privacy for their family. She even started crying to show how much she wanted it.
Demanding privacy, but then spilling royal secrets in a bombshell interview to end them all.
But just a year later, the couple released their Netflix docuseries, Harry and Meghan, where Meghan opened up about personal family arguments, private letters to her father, and tearful confessions about royal life.
And to realize this is a big deal. I mean, Americans will understand this. We have medieval times, dinner and tournament. It was like that. Like I curtsied as though I was like, pleasure to meet you, Your Majesty.
It left many wondering how someone asking for privacy could be so willing to turn private life into public entertainment. The whole "we just want to be left alone" narrative started to feel more like a marketing pitch than a genuine boundary. When Meghan and Harry first spoke to Oprah, she said the palace had refused to give Archie a royal title due to race, stressing that she didn't care about titles anyway. She said she wanted her son to live a normal life, away from all the royal pomp.
They didn't want him to be a prince or a princess, not knowing what the gender would be, which would be different from protocol, and that he wasn't going to receive security.
What?
But after they stepped down, the story changed. By 2023, Archie and Lilibet were being proudly referred to as Prince and Princess of Sussex in official updates.
She hasn't waited till they're adults. No, they're using it already. It's Princess Lilibet. So, you know, it really is significant and interesting.
Meghan and Harry, who once criticized the royal titles, now seem to use them for brand power and recognition. Meghan tearfully claimed she was suicidal and that nobody helped her. Harry sat there, nodding along like it was gospel.
Look, I was really ashamed to say it at the time, and ashamed to have to admit it to Harry, especially, because I know how much loss he's suffered. But I knew that if I didn't say it, that I would do it, and I just didn't want to be alive anymore.
But then, here is the plot twist. People pointed out that Harry's been in therapy for years and literally runs a mental health foundation. Suddenly, the story changed. Meghan then said Harry did help her and gave her a number to call. So which one is true? No help or some help? It's just another example of how their truth keeps changing depending on what sounds better on camera. In that famous BBC engagement interview, Meghan said she never Googled Prince Harry or the royal family before meeting him. She claimed she fell for him naturally, without any preconceived notions.
I think for both of us, though, it was really refreshing because given that I didn't know a lot about him, everything that I've learned about him, I learned through him, as opposed to having grown up around different news stories or tabloids or whatever else. Anything I learned about him and his family was what he would share with me, and vice versa.
However, her old blog, The Tig, and her friends' comments told a different story. The reality is that before meeting Harry, Meghan had already written about royal traditions, and she was obsessed with Princess Diana, showing she knew far more than she let on.
Diana, a friend of hers for over 30 years who she has stopped talking to, has said that Meghan had a book about Princess Diana, Her True Story by Andrew Morton on her bookshelf, and that after Diana died, they had planned a little charity event at their school. So she says that Meghan was very much familiar with Princess Diana.
She wanted to appear as the clueless outsider swept off her feet by a prince, a perfect fairy tale that everyone loves. But Meghan was not very good at covering her tracks. In a 2020 chat with feminist icon Gloria Steinem, Meghan proudly embraced the motto, "linked, not ranked," saying she hated hierarchies and believed in equality for all.
I mean, you know, it is the only place where we're all equal.
It sounded empowering until she continued using her Duchess title at every opportunity. From branding to event appearances, Meghan has leaned heavily on her royal title, expecting to be introduced with it, and even requesting to be addressed as Her Royal Highness at some gatherings.
Meghan has got to be given the HRH, which is Her Royal Highness. And everybody's got to, from now, curtsy or bow to her. She's done absolutely nothing apart from moaning for 72 days when she was there. She hates the royal family. She won't do anything that's helpful. What does she want all that for?
The woman who once rejected hierarchy seemed perfectly fine with it when it worked in her favor. This one's classic. Harry went on to claim that his family had completely cut him off financially. That dramatic confession grabbed headlines and sympathy overnight. But here's the twist. It wasn't true.
Your family cut you off?
Yeah, in the first quarter of 2020.
Turns out, only 5% of their income actually came from taxpayer funds. And yes, that part did stop when they stepped down as working royals, which was expected because you stop getting paid when you stop working. But the rest? King Charles kept the royal wallet open until mid-2020, and the official financial records prove it. So, while Harry painted this tragic picture of being left broke and abandoned, the truth was they were still getting royal cash quietly wired their way. It's almost funny how they tried to paint the picture of starting from zero and conveniently forgot the part about the steady six-figure allowance still rolling in. And Harry still had the money his mother had left him. He should have used that money wisely because he said his father cut him off. But he went on to buy a $15 million mansion in Montecito just a couple of months later. When the tell-all book Finding Freedom came out, Meghan denied any involvement, saying she hadn't spoken to the authors or influenced the content.
The Duchess maintained she never cooperated with Finding Freedom's authors.
But court documents later exposed emails proving she had given direct input, even suggesting certain lines to include. She tried to distance herself from the project when it was controversial, only for evidence to show she had helped shape the story.
The book came out in the summer of 2020, and while the Sussexes denied they had any part of it, a new bombshell claim says they were in on it all along.
It was a royal-level contradiction that left her credibility in question. Meghan loves to describe herself as a humanitarian, citing her work with the UN and global charities.
Actions. At the age of 11, I had created my small level of impact by standing up for equality.
But in her recent projects and interviews, the focus seems to circle back to her own story. The Netflix series and many public appearances highlight her struggles, her brand, and her reinvention, rarely her causes.
And also thank you for asking, because not many people have asked if I'm okay. But it's a very real thing to be going through behind the scenes.
And the answer is, would it be fair to say not really okay? As in, it's really been a struggle.
Yes.
On one hand, Meghan also claims to be an advocate for child welfare. On the other hand, she attends Balenciaga events, a brand that is facing backlash for predatory behavior towards children. Critics argue that her charity work now feels like a backdrop to her personal promotion, blurring the line between philanthropy and PR. When Meghan first stepped into the global spotlight, she spoke passionately about women's empowerment and gender equality.
Talk about gender stereotypes shifting, what it means to be masculine, what it means to be feminine. You know, I've said for a long time, you can be feminine and a feminist. You can be masculine, and I think in terms of masculinity, you understand that your strength includes knowing your vulnerabilities, and your sense of self and security, your confidence, comes in knowing that a woman by your side, not behind you.
But in recent years, she seems to have shifted focus toward luxury lifestyle ventures and celebrity branding. The same woman who said feminism was her core identity now appears more interested in image and profit than activism.
She had a holiday collection. She is selling 2 candles that retail for $64. Okay, $64, let's say plus tax and shipping.
Meghan talks a lot about women's empowerment, but her new show feels more like a celebrity hangout. It's all her famous friends, no real voices. If she truly wanted to empower women, she'd include everyday people, not just the rich and polished ones. Meghan has been open about her struggles with mental health and positioned herself as a voice for awareness and healing.
I have to admit it to Harry especially, because I know how much loss he's suffered. But I knew that if I didn't say it, that I would do it. And I just didn't want to be alive anymore.
Yet, the online communities that fiercely defend her often engage in toxic behavior, attacking critics and spreading hate in her name. Meghan rarely addresses this negativity, even though it contradicts her advocacy for kindness and well-being.
Unapologetic, okay? But what's her legacy? This relentless parade of deplorable action.
She is preaching mental health awareness while turning a blind eye to the emotional harm caused by her own supporters. It's a contradiction that's hard to ignore. There you have it, 10 times Meghan Markle contradicted herself on live TV. Which of these points was most surprising to you? Let us know in the comments section, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next video.